So we've got problems.
Lots and lots of problems.
Really, really big problems.
Huge ones. And we're here to talk about them.
Yes.
So we were talking the other day because we really try to keep our content positive online. Probably because there's so much negativity out there in the world, right? But then sometimes we wonder if it just seems like we're a couple in a family that doesn't have any conflict or problems.
Yeah. We'll get comments from people saying, like, talk about some of your difficulties you have. And we were like, why don't we talk more about that? And I think just to kind of echo what she was saying is I feel like there's so much negativity, but also especially around families like ours, right? Mm-hmm. And so whereas we're trying to show the world that families like ours exist, we try to focus on the positive aspects. But just like any couple, we have issues as well. So in today's video, we thought it'd be fun to talk about some of those.
Yep. Welcome to our issues.
A therapy session with Amanda and Shaye.
So we wrote down like 3 main things that cause conflict in our marriage. But before we get into that, we want to thank Vivrel for sponsoring this video. This video is sponsored by Vivrel. Vivrel is a members-only club that provides access to borrow designer handbags, jewelry, watches, and diamonds. We recently borrowed a Louis Vuitton handbag, and it's been so fun seeing Shaye accessorize with it. You know, it's something that's so new for her, especially designer brands.
So this just came. This is so fun. So pretty.
The perfect thing for you to borrow.
I have to be honest, I've never held anything this nice before, so this is exciting.
It's true. Beautiful. It's a really cool company because you can basically treat Vivrel like an extension of your own closet, and there's no return dates. You can even purchase an item with exclusive members-only pricing if you fall in love with something. Memberships start at $45 a month, and the most popular tier is Classique at $119 a month. I think it's just a really great concept to have luxury accessible, but on your terms. If you want to try out Vivrel, you can use the code Amanda50 to get 50% off your first month of membership. Thanks, Vivrel.
Okay, so the first issue we talked about in our therapy session was miscommunication.
What? You don't think we communicate well?
You know, I do. I think actually you think we don't as much.
I wonder sometimes if it's because I'm like a language person, and so certain words will be imbued with all this meaning for me. But I have to stop and really double check, like, oh, is this what you meant by that? Because I assume a lot.
I wish sometimes, I always say this to you, I'm like, I wish our lives were recorded all the time. Because then you'd be like, you know, you were saying this. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I never even said that.
Yeah, that gets a little crazy. I don't know if you guys ever experience this, but literally sometimes I'll be like, and they're not even offensive things, right? What was it the other day? Oh, you told me these products were getting shipped to our house. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
No, we need to go pick those up. And I like invented it in my brain because like obviously she didn't say that to me.
Yeah.
Is this like early onset like dementia or what?
But I think I'm the crazy one because I'm like, I know I didn't say that. And if I did, I'm losing my mind. So that's why all your conversations should be recorded just in case. So
now when it's something really important, on a good day, if I remember this, I'll be like, okay. So what I'm hearing, like if we're talking something out or whatever, I'll be like, well, what I'm hearing you say is, and I'll like repeat it back to you, right?
Yes.
And then half the time at least, you'll be like, well, no, not exactly. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we like have to get it clarified.
Yeah. It's probably a little bit of both of us, right? It's
Yeah.
like we're hearing the bits and parts of sometimes what we want to hear.
Yeah.
To validate our concerns or things we're worried about. And just to be clear, we do fight over things much bigger than like where packages go. What's funny is I can't think of what they are.
Right. In the moment, it always seems like a really big deal.
Yes.
And then you can't remember what it is later.
So the next one we wrote down in our therapy session was codependency. Mm-hmm. And by the way, it was really healthy to write this down. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but it kind of frames your issues in a more packageable way.
It's a safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But yeah, codependency, I would say it's interesting because Amanda's the oldest child. I think you tend to be more of a pleaser. Amanda's a mega pleaser, like to a fault. And
That sounds so funny.
Yeah, no.
But yes.
Yes. And I think my codependency shows up more in probably my abandonment issues, honestly, with my situation growing up as a trans child. I think I struggle sometimes where I will create a codependency where I test your loyalty. And I'll say things like, well, if I say this and then she'll want to leave me, or then, it's like, these are situations where I'm feeling really down, right? So,
Yeah.
So for you, if yours is anxiety driven, mine's driven by fear, fear of abandonment.
I think like we both get triggered by different things, right? Mm-hmm. So I know for me, I'm triggered by anxiety. A lot of times I've gotten better at naming it, but a lot of times maybe when I have to consciously realize that's what it is. If you aren't careful, it can kind of rule your life. And maybe for you, it's dysphoria and kind of things around that, right? I always unironically saw myself as a healer or a saver, somebody that comes in and helps other people to feel better. Like that's always what I've seen my role as in relationships. If something's wrong, it's my fault and I need to fix it somehow. Yeah. But in real life, there's so much you can't fix, right? Like it's not real. And in more recent years, I've been able to realize how much of it is a control mechanism. There's not really, even on the surface, it seems like I want everyone to feel nice, but it's really, you want everyone to feel nice so you don't have to feel afraid.
Codependency is something that I think is probably common in a lot of marriages, so.
Yeah. I think, whether you've been with somebody for a short amount of time or a long amount of time, like people have things they carry with them, right? And maybe one of the hardest things is learning how to love somebody and also just like sit with them in the things that are difficult rather than always trying to swoop in and rescue. And so, it's something I work at, and I'll probably always like when you are a people pleaser, when you're a kid, in order to feel okay about yourself, you really feel like the people around you, they need to preferably be happy, but definitely happy with you, right? Like not be angry at you about something. So yeah. Just have to pay attention to it. Okay, so the last one we wrote down has to do with prioritizing time.
Yeah. We are terrible with time.
Yes. Which means we're terrible with getting things done, basically, right? Yeah. And we're kind of both wired like creatives / ADHD. And I used to think you were the only one who had ADHD until the last couple of years. And once I saw it, I was like, oh, how did I not realize? Yeah. Because neither of us are very organized, right?
We're not schedule oriented at all. And we'll have a big list of things to do. And we always want to focus on the things that we want to do. And then we wait until the last minute, like literally the last minute to do the thing that we should be doing. Like filming this video. We could film this hours ago and here we are. But now we like talking to you guys. But it really is so challenging. And I guess the dynamic of like what makes it extra challenging, like I said, is that we're both that way. And in a lot of marriages, it seems like there's like usually one couple, right? That's like more schedule oriented. Like
one of the partners.
I think your parents are that way, like super.
They're both like that, though. Or sometimes you'll have two that are both really organized.
True. Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, it keeps life entertaining. We're like, we might be like, let's go on a trip tomorrow. And we don't plan. We just like, and then we pack up and go, oh my gosh, we were supposed to do this. So I guess the reason we bring that up is it brings up stress in our marriage sometimes just because it's like so hard to manage a schedule. Yeah. So
because things pile up, right? Like clutter piles up or a to-do list piles up. There's just all these little miscellaneous things that are like crowding your brain. And then it's like you're making mountains out of molehills because individually they're not that big of a deal, but together it just seems like...
It feels unbearable.
Yeah.
Which I think is also like an ADD thing. Like it's just like
overwhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It overwhelms your brain. But in some weird like sick way, I think it's like our brains want that. It's like we want to like wait until the last second.
Well, then we blame each other. Like sometimes I'll hear myself and I'll be like, wow, you really just like found a way to like make that someone else's problem. Even though you're the one that didn't get that done. Yeah. It's a struggle for sure.
Yeah, it's like that quote that says like you wait until you're late so you can hurry up and rush to get it done. That's us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like an idea of some of the things that we deal with. I mean, we're human, and you guys know that. So it's. I will just say this, and this is important, especially if you're watching this, curious about our marriage or with my transition. None of our issues have ever really revolved around me being who I am and showing up in the world as I do today. And, you know, of course, I'm so grateful that you're the way you are and how you've been able to support me through this. But probably another reason why we don't talk about these things, right?
Sure. And I think it has been a source of conflict in the sense that going through something difficult, back to like the codependency thing, right? Going through something difficult means that you are wrestling it with together. But the question of if it was okay for you to be you wasn't the issue, right? Which is what people, if they haven't like experienced this, they kind of go straight there. Of course, when someone's going through something hard, that can create conflict, but not in the sense that people think.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe our sources of conflict are like boring and mundane. I kind of suspect they are.
But they feel real.
Yeah, they do. But I also think growing up is realizing that conflict is part of a healthy relationship and learning how to manage conflict and communicate through it. Having conflict doesn't mean that you don't have a good relationship. I think it just means life is stretching you, both.
Yeah. And I know we listed communication as a con, but I also think in a lot of ways we have a amazing ability to communicate.
Yeah. So like here's the part where we just talk about how awesome
Yeah.
our marriage is. No, but obviously it works well because we're together and we love each other.
Yeah. But we've always been able to talk through things. Like we're both like, we don't want to like leave it in, right? We don't hold things in.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
But we wrestle with it in the meantime and don't do anything.
This video is really negative. It's supposed to be negative. So we really are struggling. And so the next headline's going to be is that we're going to be splitting up soon.
Yeah. I do not think that will ever happen. And we will probably always have conflict.
You don't think it will? Okay, we're going to end this video right here. Bye, guys. Love you.